Hi there, Richard Fulmer here. Welcome to another edition of Richard's Rock Rambles Top 10 Songs. So today we're going to have a look at my favourite Irish band, Thin Lizzy. And another difficult one for me. There's so many great songs that Phil Lynott and the guys wrote. And different styles. Towards the end they got a bit heavier. Just great songwriting though in all of these. These are my top 10 favourites. You guys I'm sure will have your own. Please like and subscribe down below and add your top 10. It'd be great to see. So let's get cracking. Number 10, Cold Sweat, from the last album that they recorded, the last studio album to feature Phil, Thunder and Lightning. A really heavy track, and which was quite a departure for them from the early stuff, which was a lot more melodic, with Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham and the rest of the guys. When John Sykes joined on guitar, it was a totally different animal. But that is a great track, really thunderous, heavy track. Number 9, Chinatown, the title track from the album Chinatown, featuring Snowy White on guitar. Great riff to begin the song, and some great lyrics as usual by Phil. Number 8, Dancing in the Moonlight from Bad Reputation. Really cool song about relationships and that kind of thing. And the sort of writing that Phil Lynott was unique in the way he wrote. He was almost like a poet sometimes. Great song. That comes in at number 8. Number 7, Sarah from Black Rose. Song about his daughter. Very touching, very melodic song. And, very mellow, but different to the rocking side of Phil Lynott. You could do both very well. Number 6, Massacre from Johnny the Fox. Great track. Epic track. Brian Robertson, Scott Gorham, Brian Downey on drums, Phil Lynott on bass. You didn't get better than that. Number 5, Still in Love with You from Nightlife. And I think Nightlife also featured Gary Moore in the beginning. That was the first time he collaborated with Phil on an album. There's a fast version of that song and a slow version. I think on Nightlife it's the slow version, but either one, it's a great song. Very memorable, great hooks. Yeah, and that one would go on to be in their live set right up until the end. Number 4 is a cover, Rosalie, from the album Fighting. That was actually a Bob Seger track. And having heard the original, I must say, Phil Lynott just gave it a whole new lease of life. Great track, amazing vocals. Phil Lynott had a unique voice, and very much like Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix wasn't too fond of his own voice, but I think Phil had a vocal that was just unique. And he had that whole Irish thing going, and he came across as a bit of a rogue. But he could also do the slower, softer stuff as well. My top 3, Suicide from Fighting. Love the drumming on that track. Especially the live version. The live version is a hell of a lot better than the studio. Really gets the crowd going on Live and Dangerous. So that's Suicide. Number 2, Emerald from Jailbreak. This is, I think, the first time Jailbreak comes onto my top 10, which is quite surprising, seeing as Jailbreak was their biggest selling album of all time. But these are my top 10, so obviously you guys will have different top 10s. Emerald is all about Ireland, basically, and it's got that whole Celtic feel to it, in the guitar riffs and in Phil's lyrics. Just amazing. And my number 1 is Don't Believe a Word from Johnny the Fox. Great track. More of a mellow side. Some nice twin lead guitar from Robertson and Scott Gorham. And great track. So that's my top 10. I've got a whole bunch of honorable mentions to go through here. From the first album, Thin Lizzy, Look What the Wind Blew In, and Remembering. That's, of course, with Eric Bell on guitar. They were still finding their feet in the beginning, so not an album that I reach for that often, but those are 2 tracks that stand out. The follow-up album, Shades of a Blue Orphanage, Buffalo Girl, and the title track, Shades of a Blue Orphanage. Same kind of thing, not as strong as they would become, but Phil's songwriting was starting to come through. Then we moved on to Vagabonds of the Western World, their third album, The Rocker. That was a great track, really upbeat track, and I think they played right towards the end as well. In their set. Gonna Creep Up on You, and of course their first really big hit, Whiskey in the Jar, which is kind of like an Irish traditional song. Not my favorite track, I have to be honest, but of course that got them on the map. The album Nightlife, Showdown, Shalala, which would also become a big hit in the live scene, and Fighting. So it's those two. And then from the album Fighting My Way Back, and King's Revenge. Two great tracks on there. King's Revenge especially. Great riff on that one. From Jailbreak, Warriors, Cowboy Song, the title track Jailbreak, and of course the other huge hit Boys Are Back in Town, which I think has been covered by numerous bands. Boys Are Back in Town and Jailbreak are hits for the band, but I think they were played to death. That's why I lost, they didn't quite make my top 10. Then the follow-up album, Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed. Interesting title there. And then from Bad Reputation, the title track, which has got some amazing drumming from Brian Downey. I mean, that guy is an amazing drummer. I'm not sure if he's still playing today. He would be in his 70s, I think. Very underrated though, and he, I think, brought a lot to the party as far as Thin Lizzy was concerned. Distinctive style. So that track, Southbound, and Killer Without a Cause, also a great track. From Black Rose, the album they did with Gary Moore, who'd come back into the fold. Waiting for an Alibi, great track. I think that was the one which starts off with the kettle drums. They're all playing the kettle drums in the music video, which is quite cool. Got to Give It Up, a song about drugs, which unfortunately would take over Phil's life towards the end and become a big issue. Rose and Dub, I'm not quite sure how one pronounces that. Black Rose, a rock legend. Another epic Irish feeling, sort of Celtic track like Emerald. Great track as well. Then we get to Chinatown, Sugar Blues, another drug track. You see what was happening there. Genocide, song about the Red Indians. That was also going to become a big live track for them. And the last one with Snowy White, Renegade, the album Renegade, Angel of Death. I love that track with that keyboard beginning. Very slow, menacing track. Very dark track as well. And the title track Renegade, and the track Hollywood, which was more Scott Gorham's kind of theme. And the last one, Thunder and Lightning, The Sun Goes Down, which is a slow track with some great bass work and an amazing lead break from John Sykes. John Sykes, of course, is an amazing guitarist. Went on to play with Whitesnake as well. Not too sure what he's up to these days. I think he's been threatening a solo album for the last, I don't know how many years. And the title track, Thunder and Lightning, another really heavy track, like Cold Sweat, and real rocker. So there we have it, my Thin Lizzy top 10 and honorable mentions. Let's just run through them again. Number 10, Cold Sweat from Thunder and Lightning. Chinatown from Chinatown. Dancing in the Moonlight from Bad Reputation. Sarah from Black Rose. Massacre from Johnny the Fox. Still in Love with You from Nightlife. Rosalie from Fighting, and my top 3, Suicide from Fighting, Emerald from Jailbreak, and Don't Believe a Word, my number 1 from Johnny the Fox. So like I said, guys, please, if you have your top 10 for Thin Lizzy, I'd love to see it. Just down below in the comments will be great. And I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy out there. And we'll catch each other soon. Cheers.